All right. Well, let's get to our Epcot tier list here. And so if you're new to what a tier list is, it's just a different way of sort of ranking things. And for this instance, we're doing rides at Epcot. So we've done Magic Kingdom. Did we do Hollywood Studios?
Not yet.
Not yet. Okay. No. We've just done Magic Kingdom. We did one of these for Universal Studios as well. I think we've done 2 over there on the Universal show. But so the list goes, you have an S. So you've got 6 tiers. You can rank something in. So the S tier is the top tier, and that stands for superb. A is the next one down, and that is a ride every time. B tier is mid. C is it's skippable. D is someone will like it. It's just not us. And F is just no. Like nobody likes this. It has no redeeming value. I guess is a good way to put that. So the idea is with it being you get instead of doing like a top 10 where most top 10s it's like the top 3 are really where it matters. I feel like this does give you more of like where do you specifically put certain things. So that's what we're going to do today. So
okay.
And we will each have our pick, and then we'll kind of come to a compromise on this.
Okay.
So we'll have one list at the end of this. But all right. So the first one we have up is Grand Fiesta Tour over in the
Grand Fiesta Tour
Mexico Pavilion.
Okay, you want me to go first?
Well, I figured you probably already have a list made up.
I do have a list already made up.
Yeah, you do.
Okay, so for me, I really enjoy this ride, but it's not I'll do it every time. So I couldn't decide. I would either put it B or C.
I would put C. I think at best it's not. I mean, they've kind of revamped it. It does have some, they added some HD TVs to it, but it's, it's a cool little ride to do, but it doesn't have a huge demand for it. You know, if the wait time for more than this is more than 15 minutes, I'm very much like, I don't know about that. If it's just like a straight walk on, sure, go over there and do it real quick. But yeah. So I'd say it's almost the definition of, and skippable doesn't mean that we hate it.
No.
Skippable just means, we don't do it this time. It's not a big deal.
Right.
That's kind of, I feel like that's the definition of skippable. So, all right, let's do Canada Far and Wide. So we're going to include a couple of the shows just because there's not a ton of attractions over here in Epcot. So this is a show.
I mean, it's okay. I know. For me, I would put it at either C or D. It's kind of boring.
Considering I'm not Canadian, it doesn't
You're not Canadian.
appeal to me.
It's so I like a show where I can sit down.
This is true. You do have to stand
up here. It's 12 minutes long, so it's not too long.
I mean, it does have the 360 thing, which is cool.
That is cool.
But for me, I haven't done this in years.
Yeah.
So,
same.
I mean, I think it would fall definitely into like, at the very least, skippable, but I would put it in the D. Someone would like it, and mostly probably Canadians.
So I would do this attraction if it was such a busy day at Epcot and like all the attractions were just such like long waits. I may take time to do this one. Because I don't.
Well, if it's hot outside, you're also in the air conditioning too,
right? And I don't think I would I don't think it would be a long wait.
No,
even on a busy day. So that's a.
I guess one of the pluses is the Canada Pavilion is really cool.
Yeah,
so it allows you to
absolutely
kind of wander around there.
They just took the scaffolding down. They finished redoing all that,
and it looks exactly the same.
Doesn't look much different, but thank you.
I don't know what they did, but it looks good job, guys. I don't know what. I'm sure there was
need a little sprucing up.
Yeah, they added some new paint on or something on it. But all right, saying that we'll get the shows out of the way. Let's do the what's the one in China called?
Reflections of China.
Reflections of China. Where would you put Reflections of China?
I would probably. I mean, they just redid it in 2020, so it's got a brand new film, which is good. I don't know. I probably put it in C or D. I like it better than the Canada one, but it's still just, again, you just have to lean against the rails. There's no seating. You just stand again.
Right.
So it's very similar to the Canada show and it's the 360 thing. Yeah, I would put it in D, probably.
I'm going to use the same logic I used for Canada.
Okay.
I'm not Chinese. It's fine, but I haven't done this in a long time, and nor do I really like.
You can still appreciate it even if you're not Chinese.
No, for sure. I know. I'm just saying, in terms of like me personally, like it doesn't have a ton of like once you do it once, to me, I'm sort of like I don't really know where I would be like dying to go back to see this.
I agreed.
So for me, someone will like it.
Someone will like it.
Just not as much.
Right.
At least myself.
And again, it's been years since we've done this, but maybe we should try it again and just get a refresh of what it is. So. Sure.
Yeah. We can go in there and check it out. See if it changes our mind to me.
Okay.
And let's go and do the show in France, which is
Impressions de France.
Impressions de France. Now, it's been a very long time since I have done this show, so I'm probably going to rely more on you on this because I don't remember much about it. So off my cuff, I would just put it again in the D just because the other ones are in there. But
I mean, yeah, that's fine. It needs to be updated so bad. It's from the 90s. It's from the 90s.
Well, don't hate on the 90s. The 90s were pretty cool.
I understand, but it's like from the early 90s, and it's like
we had
quality is bad.
Pogs in the 90s. Okay.
You can sit.
That's a plus.
Now, okay, it does split time between the Beauty and the Beast sing along.
That's true.
Remember, so it does have that in there sometimes. Now, which is playing, I don't know the schedule for that. It goes back and forth, but. The Beauty and the Beast sing along is interesting because it like tells the story from LeFou's point of view, and so it's interesting. It's good again to do on a busy day, maybe.
So because of that, do you think it's a C because of the sing along part?
Maybe, yeah, maybe the since you get 2 shows in one theater, maybe I would put that in C.
Okay,
like I would do that occasionally, just not every time for sure.
Okay, that's fair. We'll put it in C.
Okay.
There we go. All right, and the last show we will do is American Adventure in the American Pavilion.
I like America. I'm an American. I'd probably put this at C. Again, it's a show and it's not something we watch. And I mean, I think the last time we watched this was a couple of years ago. It's a longer show, I think. 20 something minutes. It's a good nap spot if you've already seen it a couple times, but
or you can learn a thing or two.
Well, you could. It was like tells the story of America, I guess.
Well, this has got
lots of animatronics.
Benjamin Franklin and Mark Twain. It kind of goes through stuff. Yeah, I like. So, I mean, if we're using the same logic here, I am an American, so this does appeal to me.
Okay.
So right off the bat, we're starting there. No, I'm not going to lie and say I go to this every single time. No. I do enjoy this show better than, say, like Hall of Presidents over in Magic Kingdom. I think this is a better show.
Yeah, I agree. I like it better than
and I think you do learn something. Now, I'm not going to say it's the most entertaining thing in the world.
Right.
So to be fair to it, I do think it probably falls into like the skippable, even though I do enjoy it. I'm not going to say I do it every single time.
Okay.
But the plus you have in here is it's beautiful inside there. Mm-hmm. And you do have the Voices of the Liberty that many times will be singing out there.
True. That's not part of the attraction.
No, I know, but I'm saying you do have that's a part of it potentially. So you do have that going for it. But I think to be fair, we can say it's skippable. I like to maybe put it more as a B, but I think you would probably put it as a C. So
I would put it more of a C or D, but that's just me.
Well, then we'll set in the middle, and I will judge you for your not wanting to learn American
Apparently,
history.
I can't have an opinion.
Just kidding. I'm kidding. All right, I'll put it in C. Okay. All right, that is all of the shows. Let's move on to the rides here. So we've got the Imagination Pavilion and the Figment ride,
which is Journey into Imagination with Figment. Just FYI.
Yeah.
This is a D for me. Sorry, everybody, if that likes Figment, but this ride just. It's I can't even explain what I'm thinking. My brain has gone mush. That's how I feel about it.
Okay.
There you go. I say a D.
The best part about this attraction is the exit. Because then you have games the kids can play, and then there's meet and greets out there.
The end of it where it's so loud.
Well, that's the thing. Both of our kids. So it's got that loud thing. Yeah, where it's like I don't even know how to. It's just like this loud hissing, like psst noise.
I don't like it.
I never. I mean, we went on this for years because our kids liked it, and now they're kind of out of that liking it phase. I think our son still kind of likes it a little bit.
Yeah. Well, the stars at the end when you exit,
right?
That's the only cool part.
Yeah. So I think at least it's a D. I mean, I'm tempted to put it in the F, but I think its exit being as good as it is in terms of like again, it's got stuff out there. Plus, you do have the DVC lounges up there.
Okay, that's part of the pavilion, not the ride, though.
I'm just saying it's got stuff attached to it. So I'll put it in D.
Okay.
Because I think there's one I'm going to put in F that people are getting really mad at me about. But
I know which one you're talking about.
Just being honest here.
Okay.
All right, let's talk about Frozen Ever After.
Frozen Ever After. I put this one in A.
Yeah.
I put this in A because I feel like, especially with our kids, and even when we're not with our kids, I think it's a great attraction. I like the ice skating Olaf in the front or in the beginning. You might get wet when you're on it. There's a little bit of a drop.
A little bit.
I like the technology with Elsa and like it moves backwards, like she's pushing it backwards. I don't know.
I think it's cute. I think it's got a good queue. The queue's good. Like you're in the village. I think it's a solid ride. It still has, it's not as long of wait times as it used to have, but it still has very long wait times.
Yeah.
Our kids I think A is. I think as Epcot goes, it's probably I think it's an A attraction.
Absolutely, and if you get there for rope drop or you have Genie Plus, this is a no brainer to get, at least for us when we have our children with us. So
yeah, for sure, it is a great place there. If you have a wait in line outside, you can get yourself a Q beer.
Q beers.
Which I do think there'll be a shirt. Which I talked about Q beers for years.
Why don't we have a shirt this
Well, I've been working on one. I think when it come up, we're going to finally have a Q beer shirt because
that's amazing.
Yeah, I feel like it. You do have the Norway stand right there. We can go get yourself a Q beer. So
let's make it happen, Captain.
All right, fair enough.
All
right. Next one. I think we know exactly where we're going to put this, but I'm just going to go through the motions here. Mission Space.
Oh my gosh, that's an F.
It's a terrible ride. I don't really know.
I can't ride it. I literally just physically can't
ride it. Can you
do
the one that's not as intense?
I can do the less intense one. I for sure can.
But why?
But it is.
It's boring.
Yeah, it's real boring.
Like that's the thing about this. I've done the very intense one, and it is intense. But I think for most people, again, I don't necessarily want to be spun around like a top after walking around World Showcase. This is I don't know. I would love to meet somebody that just absolutely loves this attraction. I haven't met anybody yet that does, but for us, it's just an F. A
big fat no.
Yeah. Even our daughter, the last time we went on it, like we rode the less tame version, and she was like, "Daddy, that was boring." I was like, "It is boring, honey." And she's like, "I don't." Now, I would say the only redeeming value of this, at least to us, is there is that playground inside.
In the queue, or it's not the queue, in the exit.
Yeah, and there's games and stuff in there. So much like Figment, its exit is the most appealing part to it.
Yeah.
So, but
great place for to get out of the water, out of
for
the
sure.
Rain. Yeah.
But I don't think it's enough to pull it out of F because I think it's a terrible ride.
I agree. I don't like it either.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. Soarin'.
Soarin' is an A for me.
I'm just thinking. See, you already have a pre-made list.
Yes, I have.
I
have
am
list made.
discussing this live.
Okay.
I'm giving the people.
I'll give this
a real-time reaction here.
I would say A or B. Now I'll say maybe because the queue is really boring.
The queue is a very big detractor to this. It's just like you're in an airport.
Like it's really boring. I mean, you can play the game, like the trivia stuff. You can, but it is very, very boring. That's really the only thing I hate about it, though. Like, I love the fact that it feels like you're flying. And again, we already talked about the show, soaring around the world and all that stuff. But I like if this didn't have like a long wait and I could just do this, like walk up and do it, I would ride it every single time. But if it's got a really long wait, I just I don't want to go through that queue unless I have Genie Plus.
Well, it's also kind of a hassle to get to. You got to go inside the Land Pavilion. You got to go down the stairs. You got to go like it's not the easiest thing to get to. Well,
sometimes malls are hard to
Well,
navigate.
it's true. I mean, abandoned malls. I'm glad they repurposed the JCPenney's into Soarin'.
Right.
But
it used to be the old movie theater.
Right.
That's where Soarin' is now.
For those of you that don't know what we're talking about, the ongoing joke on this show is that I mentioned that the Land Pavilion looks like an abandoned mall.
It's like a mall.
And once you see it, you can't unsee it. Like there's a food court in there.
Sunshine Seasons is a food court.
Like I feel like at one point you walked out of there with a lawnmower from Sears. You're like,
Garden Grill. It used to be Dillard's.
Right. Yeah. People brought coupons all the time to the JCPenney, and it was like, while we're here, let's go get a good deal on some dress shirts. And you're like, fair enough. But,
so where are you putting it?
I mean, I do enjoy the ride. I mean, the biggest drawback to it is that queue and the wait times. But I think, it's probably an A.
Okay.
I would think that's because I don't hate the ride. I like the ride.
Yeah. Same.
Again, there's just some drawbacks to it. I do like Patrick Warburton in the starting. He's great. They better not.
Warburton?
That's what I meant. Warburton. Yeah. Warburton.
Warburton?
I can't say his name.
Whoa.
Warburton. Wow.
Warburton?
I can't talk tonight.
Is that how you say his name?
I just call him Pat when we hang out. Okay. We don't get into like last names.
That made me laugh for some reason. I don't know.
Like one of the coolest voices ever. I mean, they already got Mission Space. I would have put as like a D, but they got rid of Gary Sinise on top of it. Like that gives you an F right off the bat. So if they get rid of Pat over here in Soren, it's going Pat. B right off the bat.
All right, moving on.
All right, Spaceship Earth. I'm gonna say it's for me. It's B.
B. Yep, I said the same.
Okay, like, I really like it.
Me too, and our kids like it too.
They do, and the wait times in here aren't terrible. I do wish
depends
it's
on what time of day.
True. Now, one thing I would say is don't hit this right when you come to the park.
No.
Because especially in the mornings, it'll get really high wait times. Like wait till later and it dies down a bit.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, I enjoyed it a lot. I mean, I think I would love for this to get a mini sort of refurb.
Yeah.
In some scenes. But again, at the same time, I'm like, don't touch much of it.
Well, remember they were supposed to do like a refurb or a redo.
I remember a lot of Epcot. There was supposed to be a lot of things that hasn't quite happened.
Yeah. It's okay.
They'll circle back to it.
Circle back.
They're like, we'll get to it, guys. All right, Test Track.
I put Test Track in B as well. This is not one of my faves. I've had really bad luck with this ride as far as like waiting in line, I guess.
Well, it goes down a lot.
Yeah, I mean, like it's very weather affected. So like if it's raining or storming or even like a little windy, sometimes they'll just shut it down, which, I mean, obviously for safety. But every time I've ridden it, before we had kids, it was always single rider because the main line would just move so slowly. And now with Genie Plus, like it just like I don't know what the ratio is for this ride specifically, but I mean, we waited in line for like 80 minutes one time. It was posted 40. And they were just filtering people through Genie Plus. I know it was probably phase 4 or whatever they were in at that time, but dang, it was crazy.
I mean, this almost falls into skippable for me. Like it's an okay ride, but for all the reasons you talked about, it's like
I still think it's fun though.
It is fun.
That's why I put it at B. Like it's good, it's fine.
I mean, okay, we can keep it at B, but
it's the weight that gets me.
Everything else around, yeah. I mean, they talked about redoing this, which I think it's probably one where being a Chevy showcase is kind of like, okay. But I liked it better when there's crash test dummies.
I like that band too.
I think it was,
I like that band too.
Was that a band?
Yeah.
Oh. I thought you were talking about the Presidents of the United States was also a band, I think.
Well, they were.
But no, when it had the crash test dummies in the ride, I thought it was better. I thought it was like funnier. And kind of like, because those things used to be sort of like part of, people talk about that stuff. But yeah. Okay. All right. We'll put it B for now. So.
Okay.
All right. Next one, people are going to get mad at me. I don't know where Jamie's going to put it. Is Living with the Land. And I know people enjoy this. And I'm just being honest. And again, you send all your hate mail to Eduardo. He's right over there. You can't see him. He's off camera. He's running the producing side of this. I put this as an F. It's not that I'll go on this, but I don't understand the love. Like, people just be like, oh my gosh, I love Living with the Land. I don't understand it. It's a great naps thing that they go through. I don't much care about like growing plants and stuff like that. Farmers are important.
Yes.
Very important, and I very much will support them. I don't necessarily want to go on a slow ride talking about farming, though, personally speaking.
Fair enough. Now, I put this at D because, again, I don't care for this ride. I don't have any nostalgia tied to it. The only redeemable quality for me is the glimmering greenhouses, the like overlay they do at Christmas time.
Yeah, I was going to say, it does have some redeeming value with Christmas.
That I do like, and I don't think it should be at F for that reason.
And
that's why I put it at D.
And it does have pan flutes.
Yes, exactly what I was thinking.
Pan flutes they are classy. Nothing says farming like pan flutes. All right, fine. I'll say D. Because again, it's not like it's a weird thing with this. My reaction to this is more or less I'm baffled at the people that'll be like, what's your favorite ride in Epcot? They're like, Living with the Land. I'm like, how? Why? Like, of all the rides you can do, this one? And they're like, oh, I love it. And I was like, okay. Then it makes me be like, well, no, it's like, it's not I hate it. I more or less don't understand the love for it. Therefore, it makes me want to just correct it a bit and bring the median down a bit. So to get it to where it belongs, which is kind of mid, I got to really pull it down.
Okay.
I'm just trying to equal, I'm just trying to like everything in balance, guys. Okay.
All right.
Not every, So,
all right.
Fine. We'll go D.
Okay.
I compromised. Look at me.
Thank you.
I'm compromising.
You are. Let's move on to the next one.
All right. Nemo.
The Seas with Nemo and Friends. I put this at C. This is definitely skippable for me, but we do this a lot. We do this a lot with our children. I was going to say it's skippable
for us, but when you have kids.
Yeah.
Although I will say, it could go B or C. The line for this usually isn't bad. Although they anticipated the lines for this being hours. Because that queue was so long.
Well, yeah. It is very long.
I mean, you go through there and you're like, wow, they were expecting like 4-hour wait times for this thing.
And it's not like they can be like, here, just go this way and skip you can't.
Right.
It's permanent queue. Like it's not going anywhere.
So our kids have a fun game where they just run and it's like
the
a race.
Waves or whatever.
Yeah. I mean, it's very much a copy of just the aerial ride over in Magic Kingdom.
Mm-hmm. Feels like
it does need a lot of updating.
And sometimes that arm thing that controls the fish that's trying to chase marlin.
Most of the time, it's not working.
A lot of times it doesn't work.
Or sometimes it's too much light there and you can clearly see the arm.
Mm-hmm.
I feel like the volume is all messed up in there. Like, I feel like the audio system is definitely, it needs to be like some speakers are blown.
Yeah. Now, if it wasn't for our children, I might even put this at D, but only because, and that's why I said C, only because that part with the eastern or the current, Australian current or whatever, with the turtles swimming, I have to close my eyes and just not look at anywhere because it makes me so motion sick. My daughter's like, okay, mommy, close your eyes. I'm like, okay. And she'll tell me, she's like, okay, we're past it. Every time. I can't do it. So
it's a weird, it's because it's like, none of this is like an HD. So it's like this standard definition bubbles going by. It is a weird scene.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, okay. I think C. Again, our kids, we only do this for our kids, really, yeah. I think this thing needs a definite like update to it. And you don't have to like, I'm not saying you have to like redo the entire ride, but like update the audio, the visuals, stuff like that. I think it would make it a much better experience.
Yeah.
All right, since we're in the pavilion there, let's go with Turtle Talk with Crush.
I put this at C too.
I feel like it falls into C. I enjoy Turtle Talk with Crush more than Nemo. I guess technically this is kind of a show.
It is, but it's geared towards children.
Right.
So I get it for our children.
Yeah,
it's good.
It is a lot of fun. Especially for kids. I think C is a good, because again, if it wasn't for our kids, I wouldn't do this. Yeah,
the only thing is that if you hit it to where like they just went in for a show, you have to wait like at least 20 minutes and just didn't like.
And they don't run it. I think it only runs till like
4.
Yeah, it doesn't run till park close usually.
Yeah,
so it's got like limited hours.
But the technology is cool. The actual cast member interacting with the guests or the kids really.
Yeah, and
those kids, they ask some cute questions. Our daughter has been picked a lot for questions. She puts her hand up real high.
She does. I taught her. I was like, if you want to get picked, put the hand up real high.
Real high.
And make eye contact.
Yeah.
With a well, I guess they do have a cast member there.
Oh. Yep.
All right. Next one, let's do Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. Now, being one of the newer rides in Epcot, one might assume it goes into S or A. I think this is more of a B.
For me, I would have said A or B. Again, I have motion sickness issues with this one. I've only done it twice since it opened, which it opened 2.5 years ago.
Well, yeah. Go ahead. Sorry.
No, I was gonna say, I think it's cute, right? I like the concept. Again, riding every time. If you want to go B, we can go B. I would probably put it at A because I do think it's adorable. And it's new. But I'll compromise and go B if that's what you think.
It's not that I don't like the ride. I think the wait times for it are far too high for the level of ride that it is.
Oh,
I think this is one where it's like 30 minutes or less. I'd be like, cool. But it's always, you'll almost never find this under an hour.
I do. Well, yeah.
And I think it's just like it's not worth that. Like few rides are worth that long of a wait. This one for sure. I
like the fact that it's like you're a rat. Like
no,
you're
and I agree. The concept's
like,
cool, and like part of me wants to give up points because it's just one of these like ones they just brought over from Paris. Like it doesn't have a lot of originality to it. I don't know if B's too harsh for it because I do like the ride. The ride's fine.
I know. That's why I put it at A.
All right, I'll put it at A temporarily and see how I feel at the end.
Okay.
Again, I don't hate it. I really feel like the wait time for me, like again, the queue the queue's pretty cool. I do like how it's an extension of the France Pavilion back there, but the wait times just kill me on that thing.
I know.
And Genie Plus and like the Lightning Lane for it just
Well, and if you rope drop it, unless you're coming from the International Gateway side, you're gonna already have a wait.
Oh,
if you come from the big front of the park to over there, which is kind of unfortunate.
I mean, it is in France, probably the busiest pavilion, foot traffic wise, or one.
Yeah, but I'm just saying, since the International Gateway is right there, you just come over from there and then go get on the ride, which we did that once.
We did.
That was we wanted to do that.
So. I think we still waited like 40 minutes though.
Did we really? No.
I think it was.
Did we really?
I'm pretty sure.
Okay.
Maybe 30. It was a decent amount of wait though.
Okay.
All right, let's do Moana, Journey of Water.
Moana, Journey of Water. I would stick this at B or C. Again, it's a new attraction. I think it's very beautiful. Is it something that I'm going to do every time? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. It's very skippable attraction for me.
Yeah, I mean, essentially, it's just a splash pad.
Well, there are parts of it that are a splash pad, and like there's a little bit of learning aspect.
I mean, it's cool. Yeah, don't get me wrong. I do think it has. So me personally, you may shock you. I may put this more at B because it does have some like nighttime aspects to it that are really cool.
Oh my gosh, we haven't been through it at night.
We haven't been to it at night.
We should do that
I still
next week.
contend. I don't think this belongs in Epcot. I think that's a little baffling still, but I think as the attraction goes, like kids obviously enjoy it.
Yeah.
It's not. I know when it first opened, it was all these crazy wait times. Like you can just walk through that thing,
right?
So the wait times for that is nice because you can just go in there. In the summertime, it's nice because again, you can get as wet as you want to in here.
And like the argument too is like it doesn't have to be like a headliner attraction to be enjoyable.
For sure.
And like I said, I'm not going to go through it every time, so that's why it's skippable for me. But if you want to stick it in mid, I'm fine with that.
I do think it's almost the definition of mid. In a way, like it's a brand, like literally, it's the newest attraction, and you might think, "Oh, that belongs in like A or S or A." Mm-hmm. But I think I think being B, I don't know if it's an insult, but I think it's like what it was touted as being when they were like opening it. That's why I said like sometimes I feel like I have to bring the median down a bit. I'm like, okay, it's fine, but like let's calm down. It's a walk through splash pad for the most part. It's themed, it's nice, but it's not like the most amazing thing you're ever going to experience.
Yep.
Like when they were saying it's like some people are like, oh, it takes like 40 minutes to go through. I'm like, how? Like, are you just stopping? Like, I mean, you can obviously you go at your own pace, so it could take that long. Mm-hmm. But for the most part, like, you're just going through like, how you normally would go through things and stop at a few places and think. I mean, you're probably talking maybe 20 minutes. Depending on crowds.
Yeah, maybe 20.
If it's not like insanely crowded, it's nothing that's going to like take you forever. So.
Well, I think we should go through it in the dark next time we're up.
I would like to see it at night. I mean, we talked to a cast member. We were there like the second day it opened or something.
She's like, do it.
Yeah, she was like nighttime. And like there are parts where it's like a lot of interaction that's cool and our kids definitely enjoyed it. So
yep.
I think for kids, it would be probably like more of an A.
Probably.
Maybe an S or an A for kids, but... All right, last one we have here, and I think I know where it's going, is Guardians of the Galaxy Cosmic Rewind.
That is superb for me.
Yeah, I think S tier is obviously where that one goes.
I know you don't really ride it.
Well, I'm bored. I've ridden it like three or four times.
Right.
It's just one where it's like the limit of my coastering, if that's a verb.
Roller coastering.
But it is a cool ride. It's very smooth.
Yeah.
It's got the music aspect to it.
So good. It's
I mean, it's I don't know what to say about it. It's a cool ride. It's a cool coaster. I think most people look forward to at least trying it out once.
I like it so much that I take medication to do it.
I'm still a bit shocked that you can ride this because I remember the first day. So this is the first ride I've ever ridden, by the way, that I didn't know anything about it going in. Mm-hmm. I'm one of these people, and our daughter's the same way. I want to know what's going to happen.
Right.
I don't like being like, if I want to know, like, if there's a dip, I want to know there's a dip. I want to know, like, certain things.
Yeah.
Because roller coasters, like, I'm not huge on roller coasters.
Right.
So all we heard was, like, when it opens, like, it's a family coaster. So I took our daughter, and I was like, I'll let you know how it is because you had no clue. So we get in there, and once we hit that reverse launch, I was like, oh, and I was worried because our daughter just being upset.
Yeah.
So she kind of got freaked out, but she's ridden it a few times. Now she kind of doesn't really want to do it too much.
Well, keep in mind, she was 5 when this opened.
It kind of freaked her out. So I was mostly concerned about, trying to be like, hey, it's okay. We're going around it. And there were parts like it's long too. You do get a lot, which is good and bad. If you don't like it, you're on there for a bit. Mm-hmm. But if you like the ride, you get to ride it for a bit. But when we got done, I was like, this is going to kill Jamie. Like, because Jamie sometimes will get motion sick walking around the house.
Stop.
No, I mean,
it's true.
It happens. Like, she'll just be I'm like, what's wrong? And she's like, oh, I got up weird and now I'm a little bit motion sick.
This is why I take Bonine.
Right. And so I came out and told you, I'm like, no, you can't do this. Like, and you're just like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, and I was thinking, this is the same ride track, by the way. We had done over in Silver City, they have that time traveler roller coaster. Same ride vehicles where it spins, but this one
that killed me.
Is this like roller coaster that goes upside down and all this stuff while spinning. Well, she had done that a few years before, and it absolutely like wiped her out the rest of the day.
Yep, I was done.
So we were at this, and when we were riding this, it was like 4:00, and we still had to drive home. And you're like, I'm going to do it. And I was like, oh my gosh. Like, I'm just thinking like, you're going to be done.
Yeah.
And then the kid, like driving home is going to be like, I'm taking care of you and all the kids. And, but you rode it and like But
I had taken Bonine or Dramamine beforehand. Yeah. And the trick I have, if anybody's curious, is during that ride, I never look at the screen. So after you do the launch and you're going through the ride, I never look at what's going on the screen, which is with the bad guy and all the. Right. I cannot look at that. I have to look in front of me, keep my head completely straight, and I'm okay. Again, with medication.
Then you sit kind of in the middle.
They say middle is the best, so it's not as intense either front or back.
Yeah.
But it's.
It is intense. The last time I rode it, I was toward the back, and I do not get motion sick. I don't think I've ever been motion sick, and I got done. And I like needed a few seconds. I was like, whoa.
I remember.
Like I remember just being like, that was weird. Like I almost felt like queasy a little bit. So even if you don't get motion sick, I feel like this one could get you. But yeah, Jamie enjoys it.
Oh my gosh, I love it. You get a different song every time. You don't know what it's going to be till it launches you. I love Guardians of the Galaxy movies. It's funny.
The queue is cool. It's got like interactivity with the queue and stuff with like the actors and things. So
it can be a bear to get a virtual queue.
It's a process
sometimes.
to do it for sure. But
But yeah, I love it. It definitely deserves its spot at S. So.
Agreed.
There is one attraction we're not going to include in this list because I don't think either one of us has ever watched it, and that's that Awesome Planet show in the land.
I don't recall ever seeing it.
We're not going to include.
I think by default it would just go into C. It'll go into D.
Probably.
Just because I don't recall ever seeing it, and it's just a show, so I feel like D.
We're just not going to include it. Yeah. So. Anyway, so you want to go over what we have?
No, I don't.
Oh.
That's all I'm just kidding. All right, our list as we have it is in the S tier, we have Guardians of the Galaxy, Cosmic Rewind. In the A tier, which is the Ride Every Time, we have Frozen Ever After, Soarin', and Remy's Ratatouille Adventure. B, which is mid, we have Spaceship Earth, Test Track, and Moana Journey of Water. C, which is skippable, we have Grand Fiesta Tour,
Impressions de France.
Sorry, I was trying to read that, and it's like very small on there. Yeah. I couldn't. Okay, Impressions de France, The American Adventure, The Seas with Nemo and Friends, and Turtle Talk with Crush. Mm-hmm. And D, which is someone will like it, just not us, is the Canada Far and Wide, the China
Reflections of China,
and we have the Journey into Imagination and Living with the Land. And in the F category, it's just no, is Mission Space. Now, I feel like for the most part, I think everybody can agree on the S and F.
I don't know. There's some people that like Mission Space. I don't know.
I do think we're going to get some hate for the Living with the Land. But
yeah, for sure.
But I feel like the people that love Living with the Land are a niche group. They're just loud.
Okay.
I think they're just very loud about it.
Well, I feel like they love what they love.
I feel like if you polled most people at Epcot, they'd be like, you just went on and ask them, they'd be like, what? And like, I don't know. Like, they wouldn't know. But you've got the people that hear it, and they're just very loud. Fair enough. God bless you. God bless you. All right.
Anyway, that's our list.
That is our list.